Good afternoon. My name is David Gerard, and I'm doing this for from boot camp to home class, and we're told to decide on a event, something happening that was important to us with the military, and I decided to talk about two men that were military members. Uh, One was a Green Beret, Staff Sergeant Logan Melger, and he died June of 17, and offsite at an offsite embassy housing in Mali, in Bamako, Mali. Along with two, he was staying there along with two SEALs and two Marine Raiders. They were fighting Al Qaeda factors in the region, so they were all together helping out the local guys fight the military, the Afghan, not the Al Qaeda in Mali, and they were all supposed to be working together, but in the end, it didn't work out that way. And the other one was the death of Sergeant Staff Sergeant Robert Bates, who was accused of in Afghanistan, accused in Kandahar, Afghanistan, killing 16 civilians. Not only slaughtering 16 civilians, but shooting 22 of them, and it's terrible. I mean, it was women and children, and this is important because soldiers can suffer from war and do horrendous things. And on March 22nd, 2012, an event known as Kandahar Massacre, which was this one, he attacked once. He attacked him once, and not only that, he went back to base and came back and attacked him again. He just tried to wipe out the whole factor. Why is this important to us? The impact of it. These are both very traumatic events in every sense of humanity. The first by individuals in the military serving together for the benefit of the U.S., so they were all together as one. And the second was a traumatic event where a soldier completely lost his marbles and killed innocent women and children. Why did these events have to happen? These stories are both important because many times members of our armed forces are pushed to the point of disaster. To think that these men could kill one of their own because he was going to tell on them for maybe taking, they had like a bunch of money where they used to give to bribe people and get members and get people to come into their factor and help them out. And these Green Berets not the Green Berets, but the SEALs might have been stealing the money. So they were scared that he was going to do that. And a sergeant snapping and murdering many innocent lives is also totally disgraceful. Looking at this whole factor, I mean, it just upset me that this had to happen. You know, why did this happen? We have no answers on why it happened and what, who was involved. In the second story, 5 men were involved, with 1 dying and 2 being tried in court. And it was in Afghanistan again, under war conditions. The 2 members said that they were all drinking, and at the beginning, when they were asked what happened, they said they were all drinking, and they came back and they were roughhousing wrestling, and he ended up the way he was. They said that they tried to save him, give him CPR and all that stuff, and they actually did a trach on him to try to save him. But after questioning, it came out that for one, the guy that got killed didn't drink at all. And they did an autopsy, and there was no alcohol in his blood. So they had to hear the next story. And he may have been ready to blow the whistle on them and about their theft, and that it shouldn't have been something like that. In the second story, in the other story, it was just one man who decided to get up in the middle of the night after drinking, leave his base, and go slaughter these people. There was how many children was it there? There was like 9 children, 3 women, and it doesn't matter. It was just he didn't, and 3 men, and a couple of the kids were under 2. And it was just terrible. And where all this stuff happened, the first one was in Kandahar, Afghanistan again. And after this event, the locals wanted to try him. They didn't want to send him back to the United States. They wanted to hang him. Understandably, that's how they do it there in their country. So they wanted to hang him, and the U.S. military wouldn't let him do that. They brought him back for trial. He ended up getting tried on it. And he wanted to get life in prison and after 10 years parole, which wasn't going to happen. Even his lawyer didn't think that would happen. And the second was in Mali, and there was just pretty much an in-house event that involved, like I said, 2 SEALs, 2 Marine Raiders who never were charged, but were there, and the single Green Beret who was killed. The first one happened in June of 2017, and that is pretty current. So the only thing really different about that time and now is that we have a different president. Not a good president now. We had a better president then. But the times really haven't changed much. It wasn't during an active time of war. It was in Mali, and they were training other soldiers to fight the Al-Qaeda, who was trying to take them over. The second happened in 2012, which is a whole different story because we were still at war with Afghanistan. And it was crazy. I mean, people were killing. I mean, it was not to say that what this guy did was right, but the 3 factors he said was lack of sleep, which a lot of military people probably do have lack of sleep, and he was using steroids, and he was drinking a lot every day. And you know, when he did the massacre, he was drinking too. So at times of war, it can drive these. I can't imagine how these soldiers feel or what they would do, but it was, a horrendous thing. I can't explain why people do what they do. It's in the military. I can't imagine being in the military. I've never wanted to be in the military, but in the military, it seems like there'd be a close camaraderie with these people, especially these 5 guys that were training other people. I mean, granted, it was 2 Green Berets. 1 Green Beret, 2 SEALs, and 2 Marine Raiders, but they were all working together. And the man that got killed, whose name was, I forget the names real quick, Staff Sergeant Logan Melger, he was of Muslim descent, kind of, I think. He was like, and the guys had a hatred for him, I guess. And in the end, they ended up getting life in prison for killing him. It just wasn't very good. But the other one, where a man snapped and just went and killed everybody, he had a pure hatred for those people. He had been on 4 tours, and the 4 tours of Afghanistan just kept, it hurts, I guess, inside. It makes you feel like you can't, get out of it. And he saw what some of these people were doing to his people, killing his people. So I guess he just figured he would go kill them. But instead of killing the ones that were trying to kill us, the U.S., he killed innocent people. And that's just not right, it's just terrible how it happened. As I was looking through this, I took a ton of notes. As you can tell, I'm looking down at them. It was the worst massacre of civilians in Afghanistan at the time, and it still is. He shot 22 people in all, and he admitted the guilt, and he admitted the intent to kill. At first, he said he did it, and then he said he didn't do it, but then he ended up, there was so much evidence against him that they really couldn't do much about it, so. But, that's how it goes, and in conclusion, my feelings. These two events were terrible and involved service members committing heinous acts of violence. You could blame it on war, steroids, drinking, lack of sleep, although to shoot 22 people and kill this many people is senseless. I don't care how much I drank, how many drugs I did. That's just not right. I've done stuff before. It's kind of crazy, but to shoot and kill 22 people and kill children and women, it sickens me. I mean, this man should be put to death. He shouldn't, in my opinion, he should be put to death. He should not be in jail for the rest of his life. And he definitely shouldn't get parole. He should be hung, like the Afghans said I watched a couple of videos, and they want to take care of him. The military should have let him take care of him, in my opinion. I mean, it's just sickening. Sickening. And choking a service member, in the other story, who is working with you is also senseless. Especially for something as simple as he might have ratted him out about petty money. Petty money. I mean, there's just nothing there that, I mean, a few dollars and kill somebody for, I mean, have a talk with them. Tell them what's going on. I mean, do something, but don't kill him. And to choke him out and then do CPR on him and do a trach on him before you brought him, emergency trach before you brought him to the hospital, I think they were trying to cover up their own tracks. And I think they got what they deserved. They're in jail for the rest of their lives. They probably should be put to death like he is. And I feel for his family. I feel for all the families of those innocent civilians that got killed. And it just breaks my heart that this happens. But, you know, at wartime, I don't know what can happen. And obviously anything can happen. So thanks for letting me look into these stories and talk to you about it. I enjoyed the class. I learned a lot about the military. I really knew nothing much about the military. And it's just sad. It's not sad. It's just these acts of terrorism are sad. But the military and what they do for the people is good. And I think the military could do more for the people and more for the veterans, definitely. And who served our country with all that they had. All right, thank you. Goodbye.